Hello, this is James Lopes with Rise Star Church, Eating the World Out in Love. The name of this one is Population Control. Big issue in the governing of things, and has been for a while. Of course, they put in all those other little aspects. I'm going to put out the best viewpoint, the best things concerning. I might have gone over some things in some of the other segments on the issue. But of course, the big ones are people going around popping out babies everywhere, and it has to do with government funding and that things of that nature. Everybody knows that there are people in society, they make their money popping out kids, and we've done that. We've made that possible, and of course we're funneling out some of those things with some controls. And of course, controls are needed in certain circumstances, at least until education. But I'm going to give the education really on it, what we need to focus on, which will help and deal with the population control deal. And you know, so see, the focus on society has really been the, like I said, the popping out baby part. It's the men that are getting with a bunch of women, and they don't really care how many kids they pop out. The other end of the spectrum, it's the girls. They get state assistance for each kid. Oh, I just pop out another one and make some more. So it's really interesting, right? How it's kind of worked out that way. Now, I'll tell you how we're solving the problem in a natural process of things, and I'll tell you on education on what we need to really concentrate on, which will keep it forever not a problem after that moment anyway. So I just went over inverted boundary. So obviously the inverted boundary is going to go really well with things, because it's going to be 100% love and 100% truth, which is the veil, which is the sexual activity and things of that nature. And so obviously if people are out in a green field in some aspect of the pages, when I talk about the pages, I'm talking about the 8 different pages of Rise Star Church's website. Really the focus is on the Greenfield mini-date, fatal battle, blind first aid with the Salvation Works and the sociology, management, gambling, and such. In those, obviously with a boundary of caring, we're going to find people's correlation of love. They're according to their boundary. Okay, you want to be single, but you're acting like you're wanting to be married, or open relationship, gamey, kind of outside of a veil. You're not really going to get much, probably a kid. Anyway, with gays. You are acting like you're in an open relationship, but you're in a relationship. You're lying to the other one, same circumstance. You're going to be cut off all the way around, and you're going to lose the one you're with anyway. So they can just go around a well and find someone with correlating foundation instead of having to put up with a liar. So this aspect is really going to take care of any kind of guy going around pumping out a bunch of kids somewhere. With the ladies, obviously, you're talking about raising children. And when you're living in a format that kind of correlates with the kids, and you're just going to the system, the candlestick type system, the DHS, you could say, I haven't gone into detail with the stuff, but I've prayed enough and I know enough that without the words, I can see the thing that's happening. You're doing something wrong there, and you're basically, they're going to find a reason that of some of the wrong things that you're doing, that you're going to lose custody of your kids, which really loses the whole point of popping out a kid to get some extra income anyway. So, that's really not going to happen much longer anyway, because, you can't really teach a child to just use their thing to get money in unholy processes of ways of just overpopulating yourself. It's really not going to work much longer in society. And it's just not loving for a child to not show them love. And it's hypocritical if you're like, oh, I'm going to just love you. And no, I don't really care about these guys. But they're going to pop out a brother and sister for you and won't just love each other. It's just not going to work for you. You need to figure out some stuff before you try to start popping out. And, I didn't even mention, it's not only the money thing, there's other ones that are, you don't really understand nor erode in the processes of governing at the moment. It just looks hateful everywhere. And people are having to conform because we're trapping the hateful ones at the moment. They're not really, there isn't just no caring around. Maybe you concentrate a little bit on shallow understanding of really what caring is. But any which way, you popping out a kid and going, oh, I can love you, is really going to teach them how you really don't understand the love of anybody else, or you can't see it anyway. Just not going to work. You need to work on some stuff. Any which way. Okay, so that's kind of the problems they're dealing with. But that would really resort to the stumbling block philosophy of things. Now, the other aspect, now I'm going to concentrate on the focus everybody needs to go on. It's more the make holy concept of population control and what your real problem is. Okay. All you have to do is go through Richie Rich neighborhood, or go through China. I get that a second. Let's see, picture. So, what do they do in China? They got most people in the world, right? Yeah, total. I've seen little designs they got on housing and stuff. They got like the grass on the top of the building and park on the top of the building, and it's almost like all apartments and condos everywhere. It's just kind of like they've had to do stuff in a little space with so many, which is sort of thing. And then we got the other end of the spectrum. What we have is the Mr. Richie Rich. I need some space. You need that much space? Yeah, I'm single. I got a 30-room house, 12 bathrooms, and 20-acre lot. A lot of grass and stuff. I'm rich enough. I created a lot of jobs because I got a lot of maids and things. Oh, it's just not going to cut it good enough, and you better have a lot of parties, I guess. But any which way, the main concept of things, what I'm getting at, is your problem with population control is not really the amount of people, because people can find places to be solitary. Still plenty of those on the planet. It's the problem with separation. And it's the problem with greed. You just don't need that big of a house. Now, this aspect, now let's hit it where the tires hit the road. Okay, really the future is, if you checked out the coupling business, the Candlestick Justice Game Reserve, all those different things. It really has to do with sin offerings, getting over the hollowness aspect of things, and it really has to do with children and the natural rise star and the natural foundation building and that sort of thing. And it's really, how can I say, fun, life, livable, excitement, the real things. What we need to do to learn more instead of be stagnant and stuck or how society conformed you before. So, really, 12 and older in the future is going to be all Candlestick Justice Game Reserve. It's going to be all the education processes for the children. And we're going to be able to be right next to them sometime after a authorized Rise Star business and a queen. We're going to be right there next to them, and we don't have to worry about any 12 and older not understanding the spy and super spy format and how to treat one's in or out of a veil. So we're going to be just right involved in all this stuff, getting people more involved in the governing of their communities. We the people are the government. So we're going to be handling that sort of thing. So what is the place? What is the place for? Keep a couple things, sleep, go on my way, according to the Candlestick Justice Game Reserve, and the education for the children. Main points of society, that's all that really matters. So the place, it doesn't matter. Unless it's, and I've talked about it, I don't know if I talked about it in some of these segments, but I see I stated little bits of the future. Okay, I got this car, this license deal. It's got my bank thing on there. Pretty soon I'm going to get my income to my 60%, 90%, and 10% of the economy. I'm filthy rich. I'm marketed broke. I don't even have access to it because of dictators right now. But pretty soon I'm going to be able to go buy no money, whatever I want at the time for my purpose at the Game Reserve. Sometimes, just like right now, it's marketed forcefully on me. Dictatorship. We're getting that last correction candlestick taken care of. So but even afterwards, I'm probably going to have like a Richie Rich little marketing huge church thing after for a little bit. But then a couple of years go by. I'm going to veil it out for the kids. And I might return to the trailer park. Or maybe the image just running around like homeless going, where are they at? Type of thing. In other words, place doesn't matter. Now, everybody wanting this big, huge place and freaking separate from everybody else, that's your problem. You see my point. Getting involved in the governing of communities in the Candlestick Justice Game Reserve and understanding the main focus, the most important, is veil education and raising our kids to be great leaders. The only reason in life, which really correlates with the, like I said, the only true job. Love, which includes the Rise Star coupling, the entering the veil, which we all know, loving, fucking, and the star rising, your aspect of how you fit in all that big picture governing dream of the Candlestick Justice Game Reserve, the entertainment and such. So the place isn't even going to matter. Like I said, with the funneling of things, we're going to be getting into lots of more outside of school activities for the children, because they're going to be the little spies running around and stuff, checking out the community in different cities and such. They're going to have a lot cooler education than we had, because they're going to go to different cities to do these different things and be part of the little entertainment as everything's going and stuff. The adults, we're going to tie together all the businesses. So you know, well, you might go into this one for a little bit or that one in a little bit. If you like your particular job, okay, you stay with that. But you're going to be connected with all these other ones that are customers and whatever the case may be. And the same thing, we can take it even further, like I just mentioned. Hey, I'm going to, all the kids, according to their veiled channeling of these next 4 years, well, let's just go with reality, hit the road. For these 10 years, I'm this image running around with nothing. After I get out of that reality base, I'm going to have some big church after the King's Pop deal. I'm going to have a huge church, and I'm going to be Mr. Richie Rich, man, and all this stuff. This crap, I might drive around in Mercedes or something. Then after a couple of years, according to Game Reserve and the batches that we have of the education and getting people a more Rise Star or Star Rising, getting more natural Rise Star, whatever the case may be. I might return to Mr. Trailer Park Guy. I hardly have anything. I got some little factory job there. And maybe I'll be an image in there, you know? Wait till the ones come over to the park. So place is not going to matter. Game Reserve reason for life matters. In fact, that's what I want to progress it to anyway, and that's what everybody would really want to progress it to. Is everybody 12 on up to the end of their life has gone back and forth between this fake thing we do for the kids. They were rich, they were poor. They're rich, they're poor. They're rich, they're poor. They're weird, they were normal. They're just depending on what's needed and the growth and the experience of how you would live your life and have fun in Game Reserve and learn the most important things in life. That is a beautiful future. So, start getting that concept. Start instilling that concept, because we're playing catch up. Because we definitely know there's probably some really poor people that are like, as soon as I'm a billionaire, or their little projection of billionaire, I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna want comforts, and they're gonna, be that paralyzed Christian thing. They're gonna be just paralyzed with comfort, and they just can't even take things they need. They can't figure out what is going to create growth in their life. And the other end of the spectrum, we're going to have these Richie Rich. I need that 30-room mansion for myself and 4 cars that all cost more than $100,000. No, you don't. We need it more like timeshare. We need to just move them around and stuff, and you got a problem. You need to be poor, type of thing. So once we get these concepts and you really understand the importance of what is life, we can get past all this garbage. Rise Star Church, thank you very much.